There's one restroom for each car. We encourage people not to use the restrooms on the train. They're very small. What else can I say? They're small and they're not really set up to handle a lot of people. That's why we have the porta potties at the site, and I think there's also restrooms inside the building. So we want to encourage people to take advantage of that and not go on the train if we can help it. People can sit on the top, the bottom. We need to pack them full. We have, as far as I know, how many seats did we sell per car?
I think there are about 17 to 20 extra seats per car.
20 extras.
Per total car, 2 ends.
Right. So the name of the game is, fit them in here. Once the train is moving, we don't want kids running around in the car. They need to stay seated. When the train is stopped, they can move around. That's okay, but we don't really want kids running around in the cars. We want to keep everything under control. Everybody has a good time and nobody gets hurt. Now when the train is stopped at the loading point, we're going to load the first 5 cars on that end. The 6th car and that other car that we walked by when we got on the train, the 6th and the 7th car are going to be too far north, and the walking is not good when you get that far north at the site out there. So we've got good places to load for the first 5 cars. We have 2 steps per car. This is what the steps look like. And when the train is stopped, I'm going to be the actual conductor. And there's going to be as many as we can get extra conductors to help with this. But we will open the doors. I will open the doors. I open them, I close them, nobody else. When the train is stopped, what I do is I request a red zone, and in railroad talk that means the train will not move again until I tell it to. Now once I've confirmed that I've got the red zone, then I open the doors. All 5 doors open at the same time, and the designated person will put the steps down. And once the steps are put down, then those people will be right there at each door, watching people, helping people on and off.
Designated mean your railroad people?
Yes.
Not our hosts. Okay.
The conductors, the volunteer conductors that we have coming, I know of 1, 2, I guess, we'll make use of them. They've done this before elsewhere and they know what they're doing.
Okay.
And name of the game is I want somebody at each door controlling that door and controlling the steps. And I want somebody at each end of each car helping to control the people.
And I think almost all day we have 2 people for each end of the car. There might be
So we're,
an occasional car with a total of 3, but we should be pretty well staffed.
and I think with these Hawkeye people, we're going to be in
Good.
golden shape.
Okay.
So that's really all I have. There'll be radio contact between the people working the doors. And I think that's all we need to use for the Hawkeye Express that runs down at Carlville in the football games. So I went to Chicago and inspected these cars, and they actually were just coming out of commuter service. So they had a long life, and they were used right up until we bought them in 2005. If you've been in this end of the car, you've pretty much been in the whole train. Each car has 2 separate ends, and they're laid out identical to what you see here. Every car has emergency exit windows here and straight across on the other side, and then there's 2 on the top. On the other end of this car, the same thing. There's 4 windows on that end. And if the train were to derail and it was on its side, you could take this handle right here and pull it, and as you pull it, it pulls out the rubber seal all the way around that piece of glass so the glass can come out and you can climb out of the car. Every car has a fire extinguisher and a first aid kit located up here. If you were in the other end of the car, it'd be on the opposite side. So each car does have that, 2 in each car. The rear car has, in addition to that, it has some wrecking tools if we were to have to somehow cut a car open to get inside it, they are available. We want to try to keep the doors shut, these doors. When people board the train, if we can keep the doors shut, it helps to keep the cars warmer. When we're boarding passengers, we have the big doors on the side open all the way down the train. And if these doors stay open, when they don't need to be, what the car's doing is just sucking in the cold air, and it just makes the cars colder. We would like to have at least one volunteer per end of each car, like one in this end and one in the other end. If we've got two, that's even better. The seats move. They can be changed easy enough. You flip them around so that they can face the other way. If you got families of 4 or 6 or 8.